my friends. It is me, Cosmo, and today, or should I say, tonight, I have yet another very special video for you guys. A little delve into my childhood, if you will, and something that I enjoy and love dearly. This, if you don't know, is the Calvin and Hobbes complete collection. And, well, it's probably one of the dearest things I own to me. I absolutely love Calvin and Hobbes. And if you don't know what Calvin and Hobbes is, then, well, first, my condolences. I'm very sorry. And secondly, Calvin and Hobbes is a comic strip that was printed in the newspapers in the 80s and 90s. It is probably, in my personal opinion, one of the greatest comics ever made, if not the greatest. I'm actually not a comic person. I don't really read comics or like comics that much. I have read them and I've been shared them before. I don't really care for them. They're just not something I'm usually that interested in. I love art, but I just find myself kind of iffy on comics. They're just not a big thing for me usually, but this comic series is probably one of my favorite things. I will first tell the story of how Calvin and Hobbes came into my life. And it started with my grandmother taking me to a garage sale when I was about 10 years old. And she wanted me to get a couple of things that were more, educational or, well, books, basically, right? And she knew of Calvin and Hobbes. She knew what it was, and she saw those, and she was like, oh, why don't we get you a couple of these? And at this point, I was like, oh, no, I want a video game or something, one of the toys I saw there. It didn't interest me that much, but she got them for me anyway, and she sent them home with me. And that night, I decided I'll just read one, I'll just read one to see what it's like. And I did. I read one, and it was amazing. It was clever, it was funny, it was creative, the art was great and cute and just well done, and the full-colored comics were amazing. It inspired my whole childhood. I would argue that Calvin and Hobbes is probably one of the most influential things I had growing up. And I know that probably sounds crazy, but it influenced my sense of humor. It influenced my love of art and my love of creativity in general. Calvin is such a goof, but he's also such an imaginative kid. And I always was, and this was just a true inspiration for me. And this again, it means a lot to me. And even though Calvin is a little devious, I find that and Hobbes is. It's a story about a little boy, a 6-year-old boy, who grows up in a suburban neighborhood with his stuffed animal tiger, Hobbes, who he believes is real, or he imagines, using his imagination, he is real. To everybody else, he's just a stuffed animal. So whenever you see him near in the same comic as like his parents, Calvin's parents, or any of his friends, or anybody else in the comic strip, Hobbes just appears as a stuffed animal. But whenever it's just Calvin and Hobbes, Hobbes turns into this actual tiger, I guess, right? This cartoony tiger. So it's a really cute, really cute concept, and they go on adventures, right, together. That's what they do. Yeah. Again, this is actually really, every time I think about it, and I read these, I will go back and read them every once in a while. But let me open it up. We're gonna look at these. I don't know if I will read them because I don't know what YouTube's policy is on comics. So we can look at them, and I might read parts, bits and pieces. We'll see. I don't really feel like getting in trouble with YouTube though, so I don't, we'll see. I don't think there's any issue, but if there is, well. But also I just want to point out that this is a really pretty image, and I might cut here because this is really heavy, really heavy, and it's gonna be loud trying to get one of the books out. But you can see here, we have book 1, book 2, book 3, and book 4, and this is the complete Calvin and Hobbes. I feel like there are a couple things missing from these. I could be wrong, but I've noticed that because I actually have this collection, and then I have all the individual comics as well, actual books, and those are over there. I'm not gonna show you those. But then I was gonna say, we have this is the other image, and it's Calvin and Hobbes dancing. Calvin's shaking his butt, and Hobbes is really, really into it. Whatever they're listening to. This is also a very, like I said, a very intelligent cartoon. It's a kid's cartoon in a way, right? Like a kid's comic, but at the same time, the jokes and the things that Calvin talks about are so not really for kids, and I didn't actually get a lot of it as a kid. It was only until I got older that I understood some of the jokes. So here is the first book. Hold on. And I'll just put this to the side. You can see right here, we got Calvin in a space helmet and his toboggan. And Hobbes, he's eating a sandwich and reading a comic. But I think this is actually the front. And there's so many comics of them going down. This is a classic setup for the strip. Is Hobbes and Calvin going down a hill in his red wagon and talking about things. And sometimes the things are real subjects, real things of life, pondering life, but in an amusing way. Again, very special comic. Bill Watterson, who is the creator of Calvin and Hobbes, was a genius. Let me put the big actual book container away. Okay, so this is book 1, and with book 1, we're probably going to see Bill's earlier work. His earlier art style, which isn't my favorite necessarily. Let me just skip over all the acknowledgements, because, we could read that, I suppose, but this is just a visual. But Hobbes is sleeping, and then he decides he's gonna bounce on Calvin as a joke. Another ongoing joke that happens many, many times in the comic strips. Hobbes just randomly decides he wants to terrorize Calvin with a little bit of a jump because he likes to hunt, because he's a cat. Also very cute. Hold on. I hope you can see that. There it is. Very cute. They're making a silly face. And here they are, going down a hill in the red wagon into the forest. Very pretty. So, we'll start off with this. The first comic in the entire series is about Calvin asking his dad, well, not even asking his dad, telling his dad that he set a tiger trap to catch a tiger. And he's like, I rigged a tuna fish sandwich yesterday in the trap, so I'm sure I'll have a tiger by now. And then his dad asks, they like tuna fish, huh? Tigers will do anything for a tuna fish sandwich. And then the end is, of course, Hobbes being captured and saying, we're kind of stupid that way, as he's eating the sandwich. Very cute. A fun way to start the comic, because that shows that now, after that, they become friends. And then I like this next comic, which is Calvin asking, so Dad, what do I do when I catch a tiger? And his dad says, bring it home and stuff it, Calvin. Like, stuff it with stuffing, like taxidermy. And, well, Calvin takes that a different way. And then he's feeding Hobbes. He's stuffing Hobbes. And the end is literally Hobbes saying, no, really, I couldn't eat another bite. Very, very cute. And here you can see, right, Hobbes is a stuffed animal when his dad's there. But then, when it's just Calvin and Hobbes, Hobbes is actually Hobbes. Then he's a stuffed animal again, because his dad's there. And then there's Hobbes again. As soon as his dad leaves, it's pretty, that's pretty normal. Let's see. I love these fully colored comics. Some of them are absolutely stunning. This one isn't the most stunning necessarily, but I like it a lot. And of course, the comic always starts with a 2-panel comic of something that kind of relates to this, but not quite. And it's outrage. Why should I go to bed? I'm not tired. It's only 7:30. This is tyranny. And then he falls over and falls asleep. And then it's his dad tucks him in. And Calvin is like, can you check for monsters under my bed? And his dad's like, oh, you're all good and safe. And then Calvin asks his dad to check the dresser. So his dad is like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. And so he leaves, and Calvin and Hobbes both think, well, there's probably a monster in the dresser now. So they decide to start making some noise to get the monsters to come out, and then Calvin's going to shoot the monster with a gun, with a little dart gun. And so they start doing that, and look, a monster comes in, and what's all the noise? And Calvin starts firing away. To find out that it was his dad, and Calvin's overactive imagination made him think that it was a monster. I like these. These are always funny. Alright. Sorry, that was my roommate moving. Jasmine is over there on the couch. She's behind me. So there's a lot of different little adventures that Calvin goes on. I think, yeah, look, Susie. This is Susie, and this is Calvin's next door neighbor or neighborhood girl, and they supposedly, hate each other and are constantly at war with each other in a weird way, but I think they actually really like is another one of Calvin's attempts to not go to bed. No, Mom, don't put me to bed. I've instructed Hobbes to messily devour anyone who brings me in before 9 p.m. And then his mom says, your stuffed tiger is in the washing machine. And then the end is, fine, time to take a bath. Listen, just because you never take one. Pretty cute. Again, very cute comics. I'm going to skip ahead, and I'm thinking I will probably do this. Like, I'll do multiple, if you guys like these. We'll look at each book in a video, and I will, we'll just kind of skip through it and look through some, and I'll talk a little bit about it, and we'll just relax and enjoy each other's company. Here's another full comic. You can see a trail of mess that his mom's picking up, and then, of course, Calvin says, I'm home from school, and she says, so I gathered. Quite literally gathered. And then Hobbes, tiger attack, and then they have a little tussle. Calvin, quite crashing around. Hobbes jumped me, Mom. I was fighting for my very survival. Sure, Calvin. Look, I don't want to have to sew Hobbes up again, so why don't you two go out? Why don't you two go do something quiet? Okay. You sissy. Mom always takes your side. That's because she wanted another tiger, not you. So that's, of course, part of the joke, that Calvin is a bit of a menace, and his parents are constantly like, oh my gosh, what is Calvin doing now? Here's another full. I like this one. How can I get some money? Short of earning it, I mean. I love it. I want a grenade launcher, Mom. When's Christmas? Not for a long time. When's my birthday? Not for a long time. When's my allowance? You spent it already. Do I have any stocks I can cash or war bonds? Calvin, I'm trying to work. Can I borrow some soap? Yes, you can borrow some soap. Have all the soap you want. And then he decides he's going to sell his parents his car. Pretty funny. Again, these are all just so classic. I like this one a lot too. I've decided we should be cooler than we are. We're not cool. Sure, we're cool, but we're not as cool as we could be. Cool people wear dark glasses. It's cool to bump into things. You don't move. You just hang around. I like this one a lot too. There's just so many classics, and I gotta be careful because I could actually start making myself laugh. It's funny, no matter how many times I read these, no matter how many times I, go through them, because I've probably read them all 20 times or more, I always laugh. This is Calvin's babysitter that he pretty much terrorizes every time she comes over to babysit him because he hates being babysat. Let me see here. There's a couple more. Calvin and Hobbes are going camping. It's pretty cool. Or it looks like Calvin maybe is. Yeah, this is the ones where he's in at like a Cub Scouts or something. Boy Scouts. I like this one. Hold on. We'll flip it over here a little bit. This one. Arr, look alive, ye scurvy scallywags. Run up the skull and crossbones. Prepare the blank. Our ship is the blank. And you're going to walk it, wise guy. Very cute. Again, very cute. This one. Hey Mom, are you nervous? No, why? As he's about to make a really loud, he's gonna pop up a bag. Calvin, go outside and quit bugging me. Calvin the bug buzzes off. So you see now his overactive imagination. He's imagining that he is a bug now because she said, "Stop bugging me." Flying low over the grass, he searches for dead meat. Up and over the flowers, darting this way and that. Oh no, he's caught in a spider web. Thrashing about in a desperate bid for freedom, he only becomes more entangled. Soon the spider will suck out his innards. Help. I was going to join you in the hammock, but I think I'll forget it. He's totally caught up in the hammock. I love that because somehow it relates to what's actually going on, right? This whole thing happens and then you realize what's actually happening. That's what is so creative and fun and just well done and well written about these. But yeah, there's some more. Regardless, I just love all the art. I want to find some of the really pretty ones. I don't know how many of those are actually in this one because it is his first work and it was when he was still trying to get his art style together. Here's another really pretty one though of them going down in the wagon, and it looks like they flew off into the sky right here. But I think the whole point of this one is they're trying to go faster than the speed of light. Is that because they're trying to test the theory of relativity? Yeah, it's pretty cute. Add 2 eggs and stir. Right. The recipe says it makes 20 pancakes, so we'll each get 10. Nah, that's too much trouble. Well, we'll just make one big pancake and cut it in half. I wonder how that went. Dad, I want a bedtime story. I'm busy, Calvin. I'll read you one tomorrow. If you don't read me a story, I won't go to bed. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Calvin who always wanted things his way. One day, his dad got sick of it and locked him in the basement for the rest of his life. Everyone else lived happily ever after. The end. I don't like these stories with morals. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is very pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this. Hold on. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I'm going to show you anyway. There. So pretty. So pretty. Pretty. So pretty. Anyway, I think we'll actually end it here because I have to go eat dinner. So, this is the first part. If you guys like this video, if this is enjoyable, and if you want to browse through these with me, and if YouTube is okay with me doing this, and I don't get flagged or copyright striked or anything like that, then we'll continue these, and maybe I'll even do the other half of this book